Hey guys, long time no see. It's your boy, the real Tony Stark, back once again for what I believe is my first review in quite some time. I did reviews on this channel before, if you guys remember, a couple of years back of films like Aladdin and not The Last of Us. The Last of Us is actually what we're going to be talking about today, ironically, but it was about Aladdin, and obviously I did a review at one stage about Bad Boys 3, I believe, after I seen it in the cinema, whenever it came out there a couple of years ago. But my little slip up was a nice little segue into today's video, actually, because we are actually talking about The Last of Us today, guys. The TV show premiered last night. If you're American, it premiered for you on HBO Max at 9 p.m, which was 2 a.m. for us folks here in the UK. It premiered on Now TV and Sky Atlantic. And holy hell, what a premiere it was. Guys, sit back and dissect everything I'm about to say to you, because you're going to want to stay and you're going to want to watch this. Guys, not only did it pay homage to the game that is notoriously one of the best-selling games on the PlayStation, one of the best-selling PlayStation exclusives of all time, next to, of course, God of War. But it is what paved the way for this show to be made in the first place, and it stuck true to its source material. Seeing Pedro Pascal as Joel and Bella Ramsey as Ellie were two very strange casting choices, I'll admit. About a year ago, I thought, I didn't know if it would work at the time, but I'm one of the people in the UK last night. I stayed up past 2 in the morning and watched it, and guys, it was just, I don't even know how to put into words how amazing it actually was. For anyone unfamiliar for my channel, yeah, I do the chin down shots. Yeah, that's the way I typically film videos. If you're new, hi there, welcome to the real Tony Stark content. Hope you stick around. For all my regulars, hey guys, once again. Yeah, anyways, episode 1 blew my mind. It was amazing. The first 5 to 10 minutes of the first episode already had me hooked. I love the way that they gave Sarah more backstory and actually shown you her taking the watch, Joel's broken watch, to go and get fixed, and showing you more of that bond that they had. For the people, you people like myself who played the first game, you'll know that the first game glossed over all that, and it started where they were sitting on the couch, the sofa, whatever you want to call it, and in the middle of, right before actually the zombie apocalypse was about to begin. But I feel like the show actually added a layer more depth to Sarah's character and that bond that her and Joel have. And the game caught me off guard because her death was so quick and unexpected. Whereas in the show, since I'm such a massive fan of the games, I knew her death scene was coming, but it still shocked me. And it still evoked that same level of emotion out of me that the game did. Because although I knew it was coming, it was just every bit as emotional. Pedro Pascal, my man, you as Joel, you absolutely friggin' nailed it in that scene. And can we please talk about Bella Ramsey introduction as Ellie in the show? Now, I'll admit, I'm one of them people that whenever she originally got cast as Ellie in the show, I thought, she doesn't really look like Ellie, but I'll give the kid a chance, I'll see how she does. And I'm so glad that she did, because within the first 10 minutes, Ellie appeared in that first episode where she was handcuffed to the radiator talking to Marlene, and obviously that sets up the key focal point where she heads off with Joel and Tess, and they wonder why the hell they're transferring this girl until we eventually find out that she's infected and she's going to be the cure that saves humanity. So for anyone that hasn't played the games, you're in for a hell of a ride. Sit back, enjoy it. I absolutely loved Gabrielle Luna as Tommy. Can I just put that out there? Gabrielle, you absolutely nailed it as Tommy as well. They envisioned their characters, they embodied their characters so perfectly. And an interesting little tidbit I'd like to just put in here is, prior to The Last of Us TV show actually filming, Bella Ramsey and Pedro Pascal actually never played the games, as they were told by the directors of the show not to. They were specifically told, do not play the show. We want you to go in here and make your own take on the characters. We don't want them to be carbon copies. Although Bella Ramsey did state in an interview recently that she actually did watch gameplay videos of it on YouTube. Now, whether that entails that she watched some random gameplay clips, or she watched the Markiplier or someone like Jacksepticeye's actual playthrough of the game, is yet to be revealed. Who knows? But either way, she watched gameplay of it on YouTube. She admitted to that in an interview. But yeah, I think it was a really smart idea what they did, because it meant that, as the directors initially wanted, the game, or the TV show, should I say, isn't an exact carbon copy of the game. Bella Ramsey's took Ellie and made it her own twist in the character, if you will, just the same way Pedro Pascal's took Joel and made his own twist in the character, which I really, really like. I really like that they had all the scenes with the Fireflies and all, and how at the start it shown Joel going to save Sarah, and it had that whole interrogation with the army man, which was a focal point of the first game, where it ultimately led to Sarah's death. Yeah, other interesting little things that I liked was just the minor little details of stuff that they added into the show that never existed in the game. Like, believe it or not, in the middle of the zombie apocalypse, the show it happened, but in the game it did not. The plane crash they had in the middle of that episode, I think it was around the middle of the episode, where they were all in the middle of the zombie apocalypse, and they were running through all the people who were obviously running in fear for their lives of becoming infected. That plane crash actually never happened in the game. That was, interestingly enough, added to add a bit more layer and depth for the show. For all you people who played the game, it happened where it was a police car that was actually set on fire, which led to Tommy leading Joel and Ellie down the alleyway, where they almost got ate by zombies, and they went into the diner, and Tommy told Joel and Ellie, get the hell out of here, you're the one with the kid, you're my brother, I love you, but you're carrying a kid, and I have much more of a chance of survival than you do. And yeah, I just like all the interesting little details they added. I have a feeling I'm really going to enjoy this show, and I'm really, really looking forward to seeing how the clickers turn out in the show, because as many of you people who played the first game might know, and for the people who didn't play the game, the clickers were these special strain of zombies in the first game that were very menacing. They were blind, but they weren't deaf. They heard through their ears, so if you heard too much noise, they would hear where you're at, and they would come running towards you. So, CGI, I seen that in the trailer for The Last of Us whenever they uploaded it a couple of months back. I thought, holy shit, the clickers look, the CGI, the aesthetics, the makeup team, everything about this looks just as amazing as it does in the game. And it's been labelled as one of the best video game adaptations of all time. I believe it was GameSpot or IGN or somebody actually rated it a 9.5 out of 10. I went in there and I thought, surely this can't be as good as everyone says it is. And then I came out and I said, guys, this blew my friggin' mind. I need it to be Sunday again now so I can see episode 2. And obviously with the popularity of the show, this might inevitably lead to a season 2, which will end up being a take on The Last of Us Part 2, which came out a couple of years ago during the pandemic. I believe it was right whenever the pandemic was at its highest point, ironically, getting a zombie game in the middle of an actual what do you call it, outbreak, well, not outbreak, you know what I mean, COVID was an outbreak, yeah, we'll say that. It came out in the middle of a real life outbreak, so it was kind of ironic in that sense. So if they ever do make a Last of Us Season 2, which I have no doubt they will, I'd be interested to see who they cast as Abby and all the other titular characters that debuted in that game. And obviously, it means, unfortunately, we'll have to... Spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen it. If you want to click away now, click away now. If you don't, be warned, this is a massive spoiler, because you will see it happen if a Season 2 comes, which it inevitably will. I'm not ready to see Pedro Pascal as Joel die. I don't know if I'm mentally prepared to watch that scene again. But anyway, guys, I've been rambling now for nearly 11 minutes. I don't really know if I've said anything much worth your time. But if I have, leave a like, leave a comment down below if you watched it on HBO Max. Or if you're British like me and you watched it on Sky Atlantic, tell us your opinions down below. What you liked of the first episode, what you didn't like. I'm interested to see how the story plays out with Henry and Sam still to come in the weeks to come. Oh yeah, and that's one last thing. I really, really like the original voice actors of the game, Ashley Johnson, who voices Ellie, and Troy Baker, who voices Joel, have actually roles in the show itself, which I believe is one of the first times we're ever seeing this happen. Troy plays one of David's men in the show, and Ashley Johnson plays Ellie's mum, who I believe is featured in a substantial amount of flashback scenes. And if any of you don't know, Ellie's mum was never featured in The Last of Us at all, I don't believe. I believe she was specifically designed for the show. So, yeah, tell us your guys' thought down below. For me, I'd personally rate episode 1 a solid 9 to 9.5 out of 10. I love that they added more depth to Sarah's character. They added a bit more to the scenes there that wasn't in the actual game itself, like the plane crash. And I just love how Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey have taken Joel and Ellie and made their characters their own and made them into something special. So yeah, with that said, guys, let us know your opinions down below. From me, big massive thumbs up. I'd give me other thumbs up, but I'm currently holding the phone. Don't want to drop it and mess up this video, but ideally, it gets 2 thumbs up from me and a round of applause. Can't wait for what's to come. If you guys haven't watched it, watch it. You won't regret it, I promise. Come on right back here. I might end up making this a weekly thing where I review the new episodes that come out and how they contrast to the game. So yeah, with all that said, guys, thank you very much for watching. I've been your boy, the real Tony Stark. This has been my first review in possibly the last 2 to 3 years. I'm sure there will be more to come in the future. Thank you all for watching. Much love. Peace to you all. Peace out.